Doom still just taking some pot shots, but we'll just go ahead and back away.
I think he tried to satchel away, but I'm not sure if he got shot or he blew it too early and didn't propel him back far enough. But otherwise, now it's just going to be MITH trying to push up in towards mid, extend their legs across the map.
Governor looking away.
Crew's so ready.
Hearing multiple guns firing off there in mid. Quickly clears out that wall.
Nades exchanged as well.
Oh, Jit Boys.
Ooh.
Swing up, just flush against the box here at Garage. Governor on site to reinforce.
30 seconds left.
Right now, Jit Boys not getting pinged out at all. Do they think about this as they start advancing forward? The answer is yes. Wow. Solid read there from Kahlua. Swing up the corner. Governor trying to trade something back, but it's going to be met with death. Ends up getting taken down.
Still, you got to admire it. Well played, diligent, check the corner. Now they get the sight. They managed to burst down in through, breaking down the defenses, and it's a 2-on-4 retake for Talon. No utility whatsoever for the side Talon.
Yeah, they've expended everything. Forward band, identifying one. Does manage to take the fight, but as soon as he dies, Cruz does as well. MITH now trying to just rescue this scoreline as much as they possibly can. 3 rounds potential here for a 4th. Primi, with his death, ends up getting himself the showstopper. I think he paint shell instead of the blast pack. So he pulled out the paint shells, then sends the blast pack, and that by which point he's already dead, so doesn't have much of a chance to escape.
Nonetheless, still impressive that he got the initial shot, but that said, the score is 8-3. Keeping in mind that MITH is playing a very similar composition, so the game plan might be similar on their defensive half as well. Trying to keep things interesting, but look at this, Primi. Pushed out with the showstopper.
He's going to just send it right here at the bottom. Oh! Still manages to turn! Gets the shot. CGRS maybe gets a decent amount of damage in, but it's just not nearly enough. Down to 59 here as Jit Boys now. Smoke dissipates, immediately gets the off shot through. Kahlua dead. And that's it. Just the one parting gift kill onto Jit. It's 9-3 at the half with Talon way out in front here on split.
Seizing the opportunity with the showstopper. The Rocket's being called out, and at that point, he's just trying to stay tucked away, holding on to dear life, honestly. And Primi was so quick being able to flake back just to find that kill. The rest of the team walking through the B site thinking that maybe B was left lesser reinforced because of the push out from A. But they were wrong. They walked straight into the grinder and off from the side of Jit Boys. Heaven still being marked down, and everyone just got slayed. So it's a 9-3 first half, and I'm not quite sure if MITH has what it takes to come back in full. Even though they are playing, similar compositions, they don't have timeouts either. Remember that.
Yeah. If you come into this one, drop a pistol, it's going to be rough. 2 timeouts available here for the side of Talon on top of that 6-round lead. Dropping the pistol as well as, the anti-bonus round here for the side of MITH. You still have a decent amount of breathing room if you're Talon. You're feeling very, very confident about their odds of taking us to that 3rd and final map here. And God knows what we get if it goes that far. We have Ascent as the 3rd map of this series.
God knows what Talon plays on that map.
Exactly.
That's it.
Looking very likely that we're going to find out.
Yeah. 9-3, unless MITH are able to pull a rabbit out of the magic hat. Kadoom plays a very different style from Primi right now. Primi, 18 kills and only 3 deaths all across.
Over a 6.0 KDA, pretty damn good.
A quick match.
They fare on the attack here.
No escape.
As it's going to be the net up over the top, clear out on the tripwire. As the jump forward, just caught by that one. CGRS though, still alone on the site, but he's being elusive. He might be able to get the upper hand here. The push out of the smoke, and there you go. Governor going to be taken down. Right click finds a little bit of damage, and CGRS tucks back around the opposite side. Primi dead. Was taken out as well. As this just ends up being a masterclass in footwork from CGRS. Pistol will go the way of MITH, and that is a much-needed round to kick off the 2nd half.
Yeah, just look at that lovable smirk on his face. Playing ring around the rosy, around the pillars of all things. Talon just thought that they had the execute to get the site completely. Grav nets, satchels in, bypassing some of the sonic sensors, but the last thing that they expected was CGRS just kind of sneaking around through. They did not spot him whatsoever, and because of that, the right clicks that he connects are so deadly. Making use of that smoke as well.
Very nicely done there by CGRS. And I think it looks like TLN at that point, they say, oh, the site's ours. They must have gamble sacked A. Maybe there's a couple people in mid, but there's no one right here. We're good. And then they just get absolutely crushed.
So we'll see if MITH are able to snowball this into a bit more, just tie up the scoreline. But for now, it's a judge on the side of Kadum. And he's on the A site.
Over there.
Looks like it might just be somewhat similar here. From the side of TLN, just once again looking to try to on their way up in towards B. Couple shots flying out, but do decide to pull away.
Baited out the smokes. Kilo a little bit early on that Prowler timing, so doesn't find anything. But other than that, it's also just TLN completely avoiding the entirety of mid. Straight in towards A they go. All classics, perhaps walking straight through in towards the A site. We'll see what the Cypher can do. CGRS is on it.
Up over the top. It's coming through. Position already reinforced here. Lua is in position. There you go. They strike now as CGRS gunning down 4.
It says it's out of
Potential for an ace of his own is now banned. It's the last one standing.
Trying to spray through just to find it. Van's not giving it.
Not only is it the ace, if he gets it, it's also going to be the neural theft going into the bonus round. That could be monstrous here for the side of MITH. And it looks like Kadum is going to try to escort him forward and maybe help him find this. For now he's still just sat back, but here comes the drift across. Flicks down, and he can't make it happen. He'll get the ult, but only in death. Kadum will go ahead and recover the weapon for him. CGRS clearly nonplussed by that death in the end.
Well, it's not the worst thing in the world. Kadum does pick up 1 ult point from that as well, from that little exchange. No ace. Would have been a bigger morale boost if you picked that up, but nonetheless, a great setup from MITH. Being able to buy the attention away, allowing for CGRS to peek out from screens. 9-5. Let's see if they can convert the bonus as well. TLN, having fully saved up, they get to buy back in full shields for this next round.
Sonic sensor here. See if they can catch anybody on a aggressive push out of garage.
Aggressive block out.
Well, they will. Takes out Sephiroth. Lance gets stunned up, so it's just going to be a back away. The barrier match thrown down here. In the meantime, Bucky in the smoke. Kadum waiting. Timing though. Sends out the boom bot. He'll be alerted. Shells exchange, holding each other back. As he once again pushes forward, swings the corner, does end up getting stunned. He's a decent amount of damage, but ultimately can't come away with too much. CGRS, the poke out, finds one, but has to drop back. Laz now dropped down, gets the headshot there onto Primi. Is very quickly being surrounded, will get flushed out. That CGRS will die off screen. And TLN get themselves back into the driver's seat.
Yeah, a little attempt from Laz with the Spectre. Cover, but to no avail. It still is TLN getting the early reads on it. Now, if you look at how they kind of lure MITH in towards their traps there with the sonic sensor, even with that early presence towards mid, it just shows, you know, we know Kadum's going to try to do something.
One even.
That's what we saw Judd from before, but unfortunately, he was out of range.
All.
Up by all
Revealing area.
Next round now coming in, TLN. Again,
Yeah, all. No one side. No one side.
30 seconds left.
Same sensor setup here.
Vabbè, tu via che...
Not gonna be going on
Retrieve the spike. Last player standing.
Kid Boy's just a little bit faster with a shot. Here's the boom bot. Sure that they know.
Cage triggered.
Keeps it protected there, tucked away.
10 seconds left.
Paint shells can find
Planted the spike.
amount of value.
एक safety cage डाल दे. हाँ यार.
Reroute pursuer.
सामने आ गया.
मेरे भी हाथ में नहीं है. मेरे इसमें भी नहीं एटलीस्ट मुझे 5-7 तो स्कोर करता तो राउंड तो निकाल.
At the very least, also planting man a bit of an alert.
स्काई बना रहा पता ना कैसे एडिट है 2 लोग एडिट है तेरे में
Towards the
लोग को
A
ब्लॉक
side.
से मार के आया
Weapon sets are now going to be cleared out. Time being, it is just Sephiroth buying himself.
आजा
on
मैं
this
करता हूँ
side.
recon shower.
Has the paranoia at the ready, but he's going to
I'll
be
recon
spotted
shower,
out.
then I'll
He's
drone
stunned
shot.
out, but he is going to get utterly destroyed. Showstopper comes in. Just buys more time here, Myth having to stay back.
मैं कोई ले तो लो.
Quick peek.
खुद गया
Camera
वो नहीं आ रहा ना नहीं.
Find the headshot. Ban does get flushed out.
But that said, it might still be a save as well. Only 3 guns left.
Well, that depends on how this goes.
Okay.
It goes in somewhat well. Does get taken down to 45 HP. Makes a re-approach onto the site. A little bit more difficult for him, but they at least have the even numbers. So it seems like Thailand actually want to try to make a play here for this round. Not wanting Talon to get up to 11. Quick drop.
Down A.
Blow you all.
And the
Last
instant
player
headshot.
standing.
Oh, you have that
Oh, yeah.
shot, but instead it's Premi with the 1-2-3.
This guy fucking knows
Shutting down the
everything.
hopes and dreams. Kadoom giving us hope and Premi stomping it out.
You kicking it.
I need a slow-mo replay. How on earth? I mean, Reed, sure, but the coordination, the mechanical skill, again, this is unbelievable. And off of that, how close is he to his ultimate? Good little mid-round plays coming out from Myth, but just the reactions. Oh, it's microseconds.
I mean, he makes it look like an aim labs routine.
I can't
So
believe-
swift with that. Well, now Talon, one away, getting themselves up to map point and taking us to Ascent. And as we've mentioned, I mean, this is the problem with how brutal, how poor that first half went for the side of Man in Time, because they just cannot stem the bleeding. They cannot slow down the gameplay because they just do not have any timeouts remaining.
No, sir. And all throughout the second half, Talon has been working them all throughout Garage. Early presence, sonic sensor placed, and now it's been completely relegated. They get to walk into this B site practically for free.
Yep, so on the entry, the site very much is theirs. Ban tucked back, Sephiroth not ready for it, not even thinking about it, didn't cross his mind. And you can tell they don't want to give him any opportunity to pull off another Thrifty, so the neural depth gets invested. Ban spotting one, plays it safe, tucks back.
Just marking the exits for now. Myth trying desperately to get some pot shots through.
Up over the top, Doom dead, Laz gone. And in the end, this should just be attempted death. The spike here, perhaps.
Oh my god.
As Kahlua, yeah, just narrowly avoiding being tagged through the wall here. They'll be able to go down to the spike here at the very end. But Talon get themselves now up to 12. It would take 7 consecutive here for Made in Thailand just to take us into an overtime.
Match point.
Darn near impossible given their economy as well. It's not the greatest, some light shields here and there. Cruz has the annihilation as well. A lot of potential with that. How he might want to use it to clear some corners or whatnot. Or more often than anything, use it in a post-plant. And Talon has been doing such a good job at picking out these entries, finding their way into sites to get the spike down too.
Right now they would love to have one more charge there on Kadoom, try to have a showstopper to save this off. Annihilation going to be sent. Not going to be connecting with anything there.
Screens is clear at the very least. But look at that, so much attention towards the A site. Spikes closer towards Garage.
Just walls them out onto the rafter there out of heaven. There's Kadoom tucking away once again. Cruz just silently drifting back across towards sewer.
So Sephiroth kind of calls and checks that B is not clear. Talon trying to regroup closer back towards mid to find another approach. The barrier mesh still blocking off majority of A heaven. So that keeps several players from Myth on towards the A site. With this, Talon, they get to kind of crunch in towards, you know, maybe back in towards A top of heaven or B if they so choose. just trying to extend and gather more information as to how MITH have repositioned for now. Hear those footsteps towards B.
30 seconds
So the spike back towards A, baby.
A bit of noise made. 3 players over on that B side. Quick pivot available here from CHRS. And he pushes out ahead of the wall. Doesn't manage to get the punish. Primi gonna take it down. Kadu able to find Jit Boys at the same time. This map maybe not over quite just yet. Governor gonna be locked in
10
place.
seconds left.
8 seconds remaining. The spike still here in heaven. This round very much is over. Nothing more to be done.
No time.
The Talon players will just stay put, not surrender any additional kills over to these players. MITH have an opportunity now to try to start that run back.
Now, let's not give them any all points, but MITH definitely looking for as much as they possibly can get. So any round will be good, being able
This
to buy
Primi is the coach of
back
DFMP.
mostly in full, with the exception of CGRs perhaps,
जो
but
तेरी ID में
still,
did है,
you
वो
gotta
है।
admire how that round was pretty much
But
won in full
उसने
by
TLN क्यों लगा
CGRS,
रखा है
peaking
अगर
ahead of that
उसका
Cosmic
coach है तो
Divide.
TLN Primi
Neuro
क्यों
Theft
रखा
coming
है?
in, allowing for his teammates to do further damage as well. So even with the Cosmic Divide from Jit Boys, it wasn't enough to allow Talon to cement their lead.
Or a bit of a trap play here, trying to get the rope down, trying to get the showstopper in, but Talon able to back away. They disengage successfully. Jump forward though, Governor. Trying to pop flash in, jump forward, get a kill. Doesn't work out.
NT.
Was it?
A plus for acrobatics. Still though, presence in towards A. It's gonna be banned, making a lot of noise. The Bear Mash blocking off B, so MITH pretty much stay comfortable getting the trade on towards the A site.
Fan facing into 3, does manage to find a kill. Spike can now be planted here, 3v4 for the post plan on Talon to see if they can end the map here and now.
Spike down.
He's not connecting. Primi riding up, but Sephiroth waiting within the smoke is able to shut him down. Now it falls to Cruz and Jit Boys. On spotting nothing. Barrier mesh holding them back for a little bit longer, but now has been broken. Couple shots through the crouch coming in. Sephiroth able to find him. Finds 4, in fact. A hell of a round here from the Omen player. This main Thailand not going down without a fight. They continue to claw their way back into this one, but there's still a hell of a road ahead of them.
Continue counting those rounds though, Seth. I mean, it still is effort coming out from players like Sephiroth. 4 kills picked up. Also being able to shut down Governor with that jumping flash play. But at the same time, Talon in this round just looked a little bit disjointed with how they wanted to push across, being stopped in their tracks by MITH. They managed to get the spike down, but still a numbers game in the retakes. MITH was able to win out in full. So now full upgrades for the entire team. You got the operator being brought out by Laz. Nightfall available as well. Talon trying to punch back, but this might be one of the last few rounds that they get to do that.
Push forward, Laz. Target, the swing in, and Governor dead. Flash is now gone. Quite ready for it. That immediately makes him think twice about pushing up in towards B. So already, do Talon go drifting back over towards Ramen, but it looks like they may still yet progress.
Whoa.
And again, facing the multiple players, still comes away with a kill.
Just a high-low setup. Laz available in with a stop.
Sephiroth spamming though, Primi wheeled away at. They know that he's behind that box. Peek and Primi does clean up too. Some damage going to be dealt there. Now Decade down to 1 HP, blinded up completely. Spike still on the floor. Queen Shell sent over towards Alley, but no connection found. Be an issue of timing, but no. CGRS, he doesn't peek up over the lip of heaven down into the site. Slow drift back here from Kahlua, gets himself once again into Alley. Seems like these players more than content to just stay put until they hear that spike plant sound coming through.
It's on the ground as well, so.
Last player standing.
Now it all falls to Jit Boys.
Don't count him out though.
He's an incredible player in his own right.
10 seconds left.
Plant straight away here onto the corner.
Planted.
For the cam set up, swing out, Jit Boys finds the headshot. Removes the dart, the C's not connecting. but Kahlua holds the angle on the corner, shuts him down. And now suddenly it's just it's gonna be 8 rounds here for MITH, 4 rounds separating.
Definitely comes close and almost possible for Talon, but still just being able to keep themselves up, buying up the operator all of a sudden to surprise Talon with those shots outside of Garage. Surely now you might think about them funneling over onto the A side instead as they start off the round. For the first time in the second half, Talon being forced to explore other options, because so far they've always been creating some kind of early presence out towards B.
Dude, 9
There it is.
क्या मार
More stacked up towards A now. You still have those ultimates on the side of MITH. They're trying to find the maximum effectiveness for those utilities. Early hunt.
Governor 1 away from the Seekers. Similarly with Jit Boys nearly with the ult, but it's gonna be a trade out here as Ban finding 1 and dies. Doom's situated. Then off will go ahead and send out a shot. Quick jump across. Does spot out another. So there's at least 2 here in mid. Worth mentioning critically, Primi, right at the end of that round, the previous one, killed 2 people, but then sent the showstopper and now doesn't have it.
So some
Need that back.
bits of utilities expended from the side of Talon, and they're trying to find their way to collapse onto a single site, having Primi planted in towards ropes now.
Oh, should have seen a pixel. Hair was spotted. He's gonna try to quick exit. Primi is there, just behind that trap. In the end, that wire doesn't really accomplish what they had hoped. Barrier mesh sent out. Kahlua though swings in, finds Governor, takes him down, and now it's gonna be a repivot back across over towards this B
30
site.
seconds left.
28 seconds remaining. Kahlua not ready for Primi to be in that position. Sephiroth similarly going to fall, and it looks like the run back. There's a solid attempt here,
Listening.
barring a 1v3 clutch from CGRS. Talon should be taking us over towards Ascent.
Cosmic Divide in his face as well. He's gonna, make a little bit of noise as he tries to check and clear through.
The Sonic sensor. And he does manage to find the first. Doesn't take too much damage, in fact.
Whoa!
Gets the instant headshot on the Cruz!
Oh no!
But is he ready
has
for this
no
at all?
idea. He doesn't know.
He sends out a cam. If he toggles onto it, I'm not sure if he actually has vision up into heaven.
He won't think to check. Oh,
Looks forward for a brief little moment, but time is not on his side. He's gonna try to go for the half hold.
No!
And there you have it, Jit Boys will put him down. A damn solid effort from CGRS to try to keep them in that map, but Talon not gonna be denied. Too solid of a start, too solid of a first half from them. They take us all the way here in this final series of the evening, as we will now have Ascent.
you definitely got to think about it. Had this have been, maybe 8-4 first half, might have a different story. But that said, it definitely wasn't so. It was 9-3 instead, favoring Talon, and MITH struggled to find their way back in, only being able to do that much more on their defensive side with the same agent composition, and that's what this deadlock does. But down to it as well, final round. Killua as well as Sephiroth. Gotta say, a little bit over-eager with how they peeked out of stairs. Just didn't quite have the timing for it, so they weren't kind of anticipating the fact that Talon was already out towards B-Heaven. CGRS with the tremendous effort to try to fight back, but not quite able to work against it. And my, oh my, what a performance from Talon.
Yeah, I mean, Primi getting slowed down a bit there during the run back from MITH, but still 377 ACS, 13 and 10. He got the 30 bomb by the end, and this was a lot more concise overall from Talon. They were able to get those first kills, not allow for those advantages to slip through their fingers. They were capitalizing left, right, and center, especially in that first half.
And so many moments from, the likes of Primi as well. I mean, apart from that, a little bit from, like some glimpses from players like Ban, a lot of support from Cruz, for example, as well, especially with the GravNat lineups. So there's so much that they're doing, but we will see more with what they've got for us on the final map of Ascent after this little break.
clips of one, does manage to avoid that paranoia, and Katoon is stunned up right as he lands, and Covenant up, spotting anything to push forward. The shot is instantaneous. Katoon dead. Showstopper now. Peek up over the top. There you have it. Oh, he's the jump peek. They almost line up for him. The tag up, and there you go. Try to go for it. There you have it. Assessing if he wants to go for the swing. Does! Fight! Two quick transfers. Listen to, he's going to just send it right here at the bottom. Oh! Still manages to turn. Already reinforced here. Position, there you go. They strike now as CTRS cutting down for. Cruz, I felt like he had that for sure, but instead it's Previch. The spike here away is engaged successfully. Jump forward though, Governor. Fall to the corner. Set up, swing out. He does manage to find the first. Doesn't take too much damage in fact. Gets it!
We are always your companion. We are honored to stand with you, the pro gamer who keeps fighting to win in esports.
콜롬비아 지리교과서 단 한 줄의 설명은 그냥 커피의 나라다.
이게 바로 기회의 땅이야.
쿠키야, 꼭 살아남아서 이 6구역까지 와라.
네가 1구역 벗어날 수 있을 것 같아? 못 벗어나.
다친 거잖아.
살아서 6구역까지 가야죠.
We are back and about to go into our final map of the evening here at the SVL. As we saw TLN over on Split, able to get the upset over MITH on their map pick, 13-8. Now it all comes down to Ascent to see who is going to be sticking around in that upper bracket to face against the Sentinels, and who is going to be falling to the lowers to go against Gen G.
And this is one where we are starting to think about what the agent composition's gonna be, right? I mean, so far, a little bit of a surprise from the side of TLN, showing us the deadlock, but right now, you know, a little bit more stock and standard.
I mean, this is not what I kind of anticipated at all on both fronts.
I think it makes a little bit more sense on the side of MITH. They have been playing this for their most recent Ascent maps. So on the side of DSG, you know, they play this so often, taking some wins back and forth, utilizing the ISO, especially with that kill contract, just to eliminate one player from a lot of these fights, but only when they do get that ultimate. Otherwise, it's usually CGRS with his Ares or Odin plays. You're gonna love those.
Oh, I can't wait. It's my favorite thing in the world. Now, we'll see how it goes. Yeah, I thought maybe we would see some more adjustments from the side here from Made in Thailand, try to iterate on the comp a little bit. You know, maybe just change up, maybe they go to something that's a bit more standard for the global meta on Ascent, but they're sticking with the same thing, bringing out the ISO, going up against TLN, who's going full flat standard as far as their comp is concerned. So zombie comp, even with the Phoenix buffs, clearly it's not enough to convince them quite just yet, or maybe they want to hide that for a little bit later once we actually get into VSD Pacific proper, if not the playoffs. We'll have to just wait and see on that front, but for now, this series comes down to this last map.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of with you with that. Just thinking about how, you know, these compositions play for the global meta, especially up in Tier 1. I don't know how effective this ISO is going to be. I mean, back in towards Challengers, it was, you know, somewhat effective, but it wasn't like too flashy. It wasn't anything, you know, game-breaking, anything new. What? We're talking about current time.
I didn't quite see what it said. 10:50. I think it said like I
gotta
can't get home after that or something. So I think that 10:50 is when they have to leave to catch the last public transportation, maybe.
Right.
Couldn't quite tell. Either way, just around half begun. Seconds in. Silence across the board here. Slow creep up. Ult orb going to be ignored. It's ban. Wait here for the moment. The turret to play contact and a potential peek in from Governor over on the side. Nano Swarms, decent amount of damage there. On to Kadoom, down to 52. Push forward, Governor trying to open things up. Does end up falling, and Kalua just dodging those shots. Still holds on to the shield here.
And being able to hold on to it for the time being if TLN continues to push.
It's a spot out, but shield will get broken. Flash sent. Headshot found. Primi. Second shot connects. We're going to be taken down as Paranoia held here from Jit Boys. Waiting for the moment, waiting for the angle. Sends it across, but it's not going to connect onto Sephiroth. Might not matter too much though, but it's all down to Jit. Drop onto the site. Looking for the quick flick. Doesn't make it happen. Recon will ping him out. Swings on the corner, and it's going to be Laz standing tall. Shuts him down. It's going to be another pistol going the way of Myth.
Classic map, classic plays. Just a straight, simple push from Myth in towards the A site, but because of that shield, you know, maybe a little bit of additional pressure. Governor pushing out of the smoke kind of hurts Talon, but at the same time, Ben, you know, slight movement error. He's not quite able to do anything towards the shield, but after that, you know, just spotting out Cruz, having the additional cover to just aggressively hold that angle out towards top of A heaven. So buys a lot of time, a lot of damage away from Myth. They get to buy back up. 3 rifles. 1 sheriff on the side of Governor.
3 and 2 in pistols thus far.
Deploying drone.
So drone to start. Governor thinking about sending out the recon. Opts to save it for now. Wanting that cooldown available. Should come down to the retake here. Once again, similar scene, slow push up. This time a couple extra players from Talon on site to try to stem this tide on the approach, but it's like widely. Smith maybe getting ready to reroute a bit. As Primi jump peek, spots him out.
Cage triggered. They found my
pop
wire.
to Cruz, maybe looking to get tucked here. Yep, over at Lumber. Governor now here on Cat. First contact, and they suss out that he's there in the cubby very quickly.
Little crouch as well. It's all down to Jit Boys.
Now they have the shield before the site take itself, and all that Jit can do is get rid of it for a brief little moment. But as his life is forfeit, the shield picked up. Cruz dead. Swing out coming through from main. Laz, a quick turn into the final shot. Some sharp shooting from the Cypher, and a flawless second round win.
All down with the Sheriff as well. Wild flicks 90 degrees back and forth, and he's still able to land it. That said, he was up against Classics, but still very impressive. And again, just masterful plays. Simple but effective from the side of Myth, right? They had a bit of attention being drawn out from Laz. Brings the rotations over from the side of Primi because he spotted him out on the top of Fountain. But then off of that, the rest of the team managed to rotate on and crunch down Jit Boys. Next round now, full buys up. The Odin being brought out by Governor.
Yeah, Odin is in play. Open the round with a little bit of spray. Do have Laz nearby enough to go ahead and hear that. Because of that, in all likelihood, Mid and Thailand going to be sticking on their path on this approach towards the A site once more. Fan set up, finds the headshot, instant kill there on a Kadum. Takes a little bit of damage on the exit.
Got the spike.
Now forces a quick pivot here.
Very quick and prepared with their setup as well. Jit Boys at the ready. The door's been shut. So the only option for Myth is to break down the doors, continue to push through, or re-aggress back into A. And that's what they're thinking about. The alarm bar trips it though.
Sephiroth looking for that catch. He's able to find it. Cruz going to be taken down there within their own spawn. Pan gone at the same time. And what starts off beautifully for the side of Talon with that opening kill on Kadum. So quickly does the rug get pulled out from beneath Talon's feet.
And the lurk now.
Cognizant of it, but there's nothing more that they can do other than try to drift away. The Odin. There's far too much money invested here. Talon gonna have this bonus get converted by Made in Thailand.
Definitely not something you want to challenge at all. But I'm afraid I'm gonna need to see a replay of that. I mean, did they kind of dodge the paranoia somehow and then were able to flick back on towards the site, getting those kills? Whatever it was, Myth, they've done their job at slowly crunching up through A short. I mean, past 3 rounds now with this bonus being picked up, they've managed to make this A hit work.
Looks like Wiley Sephiroth not going to be able to find too much here. 3-0 start here for the side of Myth. Fantastic on that attacker side. 5-0 for Laz. Kill contract as well available. As, I mean, again, it starts off nicely. But
he was blind.
Just kind of saw the rough estimate of where he's going. A fadeaway shot there from CTRS.
Good spray.
Very nicely done. It's just that Odin, that Vandal, carried forward alongside some Sheriffs to try to see if they can get a Thrifty on the board.
Sudden rotation on towards B side for now. Governor's so far back, he might have the Odin, but not quite sure how effective it's going to be. He spots them out. So nanos will be popped. Myth still have an option to just execute in through, though.
They have to be decently quick to get their way in. Odin shots could come through, but Governor does opt to just go ahead and hold off. Little drone instead wants to play for information here for the team. Sprays in, a little bit of damage going to be found there onto Kahlua, but the kill itself not able to be found quite just yet.
Spike planted.
Spike now planted. So ult still very much become a factor in the attempted retake. See if he wants to use it in this kind of situation, or if they just naturally favor themselves given the weaponry.
It's you and me.
Okay, will send it.
Wow.
Grabs the Odin though.
Do you just buy for time, or?
And yeah, even with the shield, not going to be enough. Governor does manage to take him down. Laz now going to be taken out. Doom finding one. Reposition the TP coming through. Eventually they're able to overwhelm, but CGRS comes up with 2 and ban. It's now the last man standing. Not ready for the peek out. Sephiroth will shut him down. With 2 players left standing, Myth will maintain the win streak.
Just as expected, once you saw them get their foot onto the site with the spike down. A little bit funny, a little bit of a chuckle with that. The kill contract catching on towards Governor, so that Odin, you know, definitely still deadly in the one-on-ones. But nonetheless, definitely seeing some stripes in how Talon might approach retakes, and that's something that Myth is going to have to keep down in their notebooks. Being able to approach from all across the other sites. This time now, a bit of a slower play towards middle. Smoked off, but Ban has the angle.
He does. Doesn't get the catch, but makes the call here that they're out on Cat. Now looking for the pinch. Kanoom able to find one. Kahlua as well coming up with the kill. Fragment tries to hold them back. Sephiroth pushes up, but Cruz, wise to it, turns the sights back in. Takes him apart on the entry to the site. 3v3 now. Things start slowing down, but you can see here the rotation. Governor making his way across in towards mid. That Killjoy setup right at the front of B lobby doesn't really mean much of anything now.
Governor does have the Odin, and the Recon pretty much refreshed soon. Sets himself up for it. Tries to go for the corner wall bang. Meanwhile, his friends are gonna creep up towards the back of B main. Are Myth prepared?
Speaking of wall, does get set out. There's the trap wire. Does get cleared out. 0 point. Just connecting onto one. Ultimately, doesn't matter too much. CGRS. No util really to speak of here for this post-plant defense. He will get taken down. Primi able to find another.
What?
The tail went forward. All on the Laz, and Primi somehow wins it out. 11 HP, no problem it would seem. The Myth 4-0 start now will allow for Talon to get their first round victory here on the board.
Okay. He was crouched. He dashed underneath him and stayed crouched and continued to spray away. Primi, that's just what he does. So great little setup in order to crunch down against Myth, getting that early pick off. Cruz even sending it down the fragment just to make sure that they're not going to head back in towards the A site. And it does well enough to throw them in towards Governor, and whatever happens there doesn't quite matter, because then you have that full 3-on-3 take where Talon are well informed as to how Myth are able to, you know, hit the site. So wrapping out from behind and everything, they managed to crunch them down. Next round now, Myth back towards A. There's a full stack towards main. Smoked off by the Omen though.
For Myth's sake, they're just going to be hoping there was a bit of a blip there from Primi. 3 out of his 4 kills accrued in that previous round does help tell the tale of how one-sided a lot of these rounds have been thus far. There's Paranoia across, and there's just going to be the spray down, anticipating the push. Jit Boys continues to have a bit of a rough time here so far in Ascent. Ben now going to be tucked away here in Hell. Doom works his way across in towards Tree, and Ben manages to come up with 3 against all odds, but now Kanoom answering back. Clears out Cruz, puts him on the floor to bleed out. The drone chasing up over the top. Laz, presence.
Spikes down.
Makes it known. to be careful. There's still going to be that Odin on the opposite side. A couple knives going to be sent out. Connection not going to be found there. The swing in. Primi going to be good for one. Now into the 1v1.
You have time.
Couple shots coming out here. The spike. Going to get picked up.
Right here.
30 seconds left.
Reloads it. Does he just cut noise? Hope that he counter rotates. Slow approach, the tap, trying to see if he
Bait out the
spamming out. Thinks about the recon here for a moment. Decides to wait until plant gets stuck.
10 seconds left. Spike planted.
Sends it now in towards hell. And gonna be noticed there. And Laz gets the headshot. Not allowing for Talon to string two together, keeping the coffers empty. MITH continue upward.
Classic smart and outplays against the Odin. Recognizing what kind of utility he might have. It's probably going to be a recon. No shock darts being sent, so that's probably not something that he has, but otherwise, still very lovely 3K coming out from Ben. But that's it. It wasn't quite enough up against MITH, who had the positioning to take down the site to make sure that nobody pushes further on from heaven. Laz finding those frags.
Standing ahead.
Broken economy in the next round now. Some ultimates from the side of Talon, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. Primi in with the blades. Looking to make some work happen.
Made a decent judgment here as far as the stack is concerned. But on the re-peek, Ban getting a little bit greedy. Gets his head taken off.
MITH are very aware.
My ult is red. Standing ahead.
Governor finds one. Updraft peek, spots another. Smoke comes down, they want to try to keep that weapon protected, maybe even juggle it back.
I do want to say though, I mean, looking at the minimap, Talon loves to push out on the other side as soon as they find that a bit of contact against MITH. So now, full information as to where MITH are positioned.
They're misreading where they could be, and Jit Boys starts coming alive. First 2 kills, some crisp shots there with the Sheriff.
Stealing sight.
Paranoia sent through, can't capitalize off the back of it, but still opens up a hell of a lot of space. Now you've got Cruz making his way through the attacker spawn. Ready to strike, but will just about miss the timing to catch them here from behind.
Damage done. Even if you let them get into sight, you are able to pick up some very valuable rifles for the round.
They know pretty much exactly where they are. Drone will go out. I think it's actually missed Primi. Jump across, they get the ping reveal onto one. Knives out, CJRS gonna be taken down, and there you go, a Thrifty. Not 2 in a row, but slightly separated round victories. Talon, they find their second.
And that's the experience from the side of Talon as well. I mean, give them an inch, they take the whole mile. We saw this earlier on in the previous round as well, where Primi, I think, was pushing out in towards the B main area, and that's why Jit Boy sent that Paranoia through, towards A main. This time around, it's that much early, you know, B tiles main contact coming out from MITH. So Talon sends players all the way through A main. They check and call it clear, able to strike out from behind. Good wins, that gives them the economy to buy up in full. Ultimates on their side as well.
Primi with the instant pick there. Is going to be damn low and does get picked off as CJRS is able to find it. Fueling Hunter's Furies, but seems like it's going to be MITH that comes up with the goods there. In the end, though, just a trade on the Jets. For the side of MITH, that could be a little bit worse for them. That's a lot of the entry power. Fragment will just smattering of damage here onto CJRS and forces him back.
Off the drone as well. So now, MITH are trying to reposition, but it might be a little bit clear that it's going to be the rotation over onto A from the side of Talon. They're reading this. Cruz continuing to push up just to get an angle on towards the top mid as well. They've stacked correctly towards the A site, so not too much else needed to be done.
If you check in towards A main, that could be false info gathered here from Talon.
A little bit early, yeah. That's
now
why we're
they're starting to work their way over in towards B.
Okay.
Suspecting that maybe they're going to be approaching that trap wire. Just get spotted there within the smoke, I believe, by Cruz.
Yeah, he's calling everything clear.
30 seconds left.
So now just holding the door. Okay, TP play into the site just to check.
But then eventually they just have to move forward. I mean, the Omen on the TP didn't have the spike in hand, I don't believe. So he has the cancel, checking out the site, and then they just strafe right into the Odin. Making it easy for Governor. All he had to do was hold down M1. And there you go. Fadeaway shots. Take him out. 3K for Governor. And now a 4-piece. As he will just bail them out.
4 away from his Hunter's Fury again. How you like them apples, Achilles?
They're rotten.
Hold down M1 all the way from tree, and that's all you need to do to win out the round. Funneled straight in towards the site. So unfortunate for Myth. I mean, they're just doing what they were informed to do. Try to push into B, you got blocked off. All right, we're gonna head into A. Walk into A, we don't see too much. We smoked off tree as well.
The last bullet
but
as well.
It's the Odin, it's the freaking Odin, the last bullet. Oh, so unlucky. I mean, what are you gonna do?
Ban the gun?
The gun.
Nerf the gun?
The nerf the gun is maybe more likely, but that's not something that they can do. We're gonna leave that to the dev team, but 3-5 is the score. Odin's still in play. Broken economy for the side of Myth.
Broken gun. Let's see, Peak coming in here towards mid, but it's just a swing in there from Cruz, gets the headshot, Kadum on the floor. Talon trying to stop themselves from potentially being thrifty. Just, oh, the timing. Pulls away from the angle right. His last swings that corner, but both players end up missing out on each other. And Alarm Bot lets them know about that presence all the way up towards Market.
Holding for the angle now.
Spotted the leg, gets the headshot, but does he realize B main has been double stacked?
Now they will.
Aware of it
It's
for the
you
moment.
and me.
And there you go, kill contract. Gets the pull, ban on the jiggle, and instantly gonna be taken down. Primi able to go ahead and tailwind his way in towards the site, but he does just have that operator. Can he hold the ground? So far, the answer appears to be yes. Gets the first kill. Governor spraying across, finds Kahlua, takes him down, and now it's just into the meat grinder. Does Talon start running things back? From a 4-1 start to being 1 away from tying us up here.
Yeah, I mean it is the Odin, but look, you gotta like admire the lovely dissection of Talon's approach towards taking down Myth's approach into the site. Just in with the Odin, just spraying through. They crack Kalua's shield, but even off of that, Primi with the quick instincts to dash into sight, play for the angles, make use of the operator, and in for his teammates to play along the back as well. So Myth, despite getting some early bits of space, they're not able to convert that into the spike plant. Close scores, and they're trying to hold on to their lead, but not sure how their economy is going to continue looking now. 5-4 scoreline, timeout being called. I don't know what Coach Leaf can really call for. Definitely wants to solve the problem against the Odin, though. I mean, CGRS has played the Odin before, but that's usually on the defensive side, too.
I mean, unfortunately, one of the most reliable ways to do it is just get an Odin yourself. Counter spam these angles that are going to be coming through. But we'll see if that ends up being the call from Myth's camp. This has got to be a bit of a disheartening moment here for them, seeing just where exactly they have ended up at. It's from a very, very solid start to the map. 5-1 scoreline. Now being just 1 round separated. Not where you want to be. Smoke comes in. Remy just backing away, not going to be looking for any kind of timing. And Myth not really looking for any kind of subtlety there, just sprinting their way through. Wall goes up, Paranoia slows up the approach. Fragment gets to bring in the shield, but Kahlua able to go ahead, builds up another one. See instant pop. Cruz trying to peek in, trying to get a little bit of damage through. Here's some footsteps and break the shield. Can't find much else. Remy, however, here on the site, gets the kill, but he's been being revealed. Break of that. Draws out the short. He's trying to hound down his enemy ISO, but he can't quite make it happen. And this time, Myth again opt to go for a pacey hit, much like we were seeing from them on split. And it looks to bring them into another round victory.
Yeah, all that's left is Ben, and the best that he can hope for is just to rob a gun away or just to save, honestly. I mean, they've got the economy, so I guess he can go for some kills, but he already has his ult, so no need, right?
taking money out of the hands or taking guns out of the hands of MITH would do well for you, just because they have been pretty wobbly as far as their economy is concerned. So I think trying to get an extra gun out, not too bad overall.
No avail.
There you go. They stretch the lead once again.
It's that pacey hit, like you mentioned. That's the thing about MITH. Oftentimes you would see them going slow and steady, but when they need to, when they find that little gap in their opponent's defenses, and in this case, it would have been A short, just applying that pressure up against Jit Boys allows them to really send it all the way into the A site. But now, maybe slightly more reinforced, Cruz still in position just to take more A main control. Both of them stacked up towards tree, repairing from their previous mistakes, relying on the one-way just to give them a little bit more control over A main, but MITH just walks through it, waltzes through it.
Is there once again, 2 players over towards tree. Push up into the smoke though, and just runs down Jit Boys. Grimmy position here at Heaven, but Sephiroth TP's over to the side, out of his LOS. Couldn't see him while scoped in. And then he strikes. And this time, there's no option for Band to try to fight back, to try to take some weapons away. The economy is going to be perfectly fine in that next round. And it's his team to struggle a little bit more. Still can be found. Laz eliminated. That'll be the Odin picked up here for him. Lua, not going to be ready for that. But he's got 4,000, and I don't think he cares too much.
Not too big of a problem. Talon trying to find as much as they possibly can. Just staying tucked away while MITH goes in to check. Sephiroth.
Drop down is heard. Cruz 3 charges away from having the ult online. Oh, love to get this, but instead it's going to be his teammate getting taken down.
Last round in the half.
All right. Not the worst. You can kind of buy up some kind of a low budget rifle or something. But apart from that, you know what's insane is, apart from the pacey plays hitting in the A side that quick, it's also just them, Kadoom, buying up the Phantom, running and gunning in towards tree, inside of the smoke. And that's the thing that, kind of kills Talon in the round. So unfortunate, but that's the name of the game right now. Reading the positions, playing those mind games. And once again, the Operator and Odin in play for the side of Talon. They've got those ultimates.
Something all up of their own, expecting some pressure, expecting this peak. Do Talon feel so bold? They've been on the back foot for the majority of this map so far. Not sure if Primi is actually really going to take the bait, so instead it will just be the op dumped off the side.
Back onto the Phantom.
Secondary weapon ready to go. CGRS going to be left here on this Linger. Has that tripwire at his back. Thrown to go ahead and check. And it pulls off the angle as the shot gets ready to go to the wall. Keeps himself protected. All bank damage not going to be found. Jit Boys tucked here at wine. Paranoia at the ready. Scratches the cross. Catches on the multiple players. They go scattering to the wind. Into the smoke. Goes Kadoom, but he can't find anything for his troubles. 3 players gone here on the side of MITH. CGRS eventually able to fight back. Does manage to find Ban. The spike now stuck here at the cubby over at A main. Talon pulls off the angle, but as CGRS tries to open things up on that side of the map, they're able to find 1. And there you go. Jit Boys with the finishing shot will get Talon up to 5 at the half.
Lovely, lovely adjustments from the side of Talon. I mean, you could see, they're setting themselves up in the similar positions, but MITH opting for a slightly slower approach. They left CGRS on that little lurk, sending out the drone just to deny, that space and information from Talon. Talon loves to push out to gather information and confirm that hit. But seeing that drone, they actually made the call to confirm, all right, since they're trying to drone, they don't want us to see something. And that probably means that MITH are positioned towards A. And at that point, it's that quick little hit from Jit Boys alongside Cruz to push out, find those kills out towards A main, getting the round 5-7. So good little calls from the side of Talon. We'll see if they can convert that to even more into the second half. It is the last map of the series after all, and it still feels really close and tight, Achilleos.
Still very much is anybody's game. I feel like more and more in recent times we've been seeing that attacking side start to really have impact. Primi's going to be able to get back on the horse and take over starting from the pistol. This very well could just end up being TLN running away with the remainder of this, but clearly made in Thailand, they have aimers of their own. We've been seeing plenty of fantastic moments from everybody on this squad. Very much rising to the occasion here at the start of the SVL.
Laz definitely comes to mind with those Sheriff 3Ks. Apart from that now, as they swap sides onto the defending side, made in Thailand, you will see that Odin from the side of CGRS, but also keeping your eyes on how Killua is able to use this ISO to maximum effect, especially with the kill contract and the shield.
Oh, well, Ban will find a very nice early kill. Doom going to take it down. Sheriff headshot across the way, tiles to short. And TLN working their way over here towards B. Cam toggled on. He's peeking, ready for a tailwind forward. Even if he hits the dart, doesn't have any high pen weaponry. It's just the classic tuck there at boats.
Yeah.
Sephiroth maybe.
Only trips too.
He could be the one to try to make something happen. Sends out a couple shots. Primi's gonna go up and over, hits the floor, and hits Sephiroth at the back of the head there with the frenzy. Ban now finding another as CTRS. It's knocked to the ground. And Laz, this cage is gonna expire. Tries to swing out, tries to find a timing, but Primi says absolutely not. Shuts him down. Now it is all on Killua. And as the cage falls, finds himself staring down towards two players of TLN. Pistol goes their way in flawless fashion. And now it's just one round separating.
Really clean and quick, all thanks to the first shot from Ben. All the way from tiles into its short. Oh, it's just as the smoke bloomed.
Hell of a timing to be found.
But also hearing those footsteps, right, from Killua, they instantly rotate over onto the B side. Just quick calls, good plays again, also clean, taking down the hit onto the site. Primi is definitely someone to keep your eyes on, but now, okay, triple peek from MITH.
Pushing forward, but not quite in the right direction. Primi will take quite a bit of damage. Goes low, but over the top even, so continues to play aggressively. Keeps himself alive. Decent damage dealt here onto the members of TLN, but his kill's not being confirmed. Doesn't put MITH much closer to pulling off the thrifty here in the round. Last up and over the top, and the only players that he's spotting are the ones with the most HP. Eventually he gets flushed out.
Flushed out by Primi as well, so even it's the Bulldog. 2 HP, he's now 3 points away from the Blades. Kadoom all the way up into its heaven, just looking for anything with a right click, but he gets tagged!
Looking for another ace here. Would be a second one of the series. Tailwind about to expire, and he finds the timing. And it's in an anti-eco, but we can get those fans back up on screen again who've been cheering for Primi aces.
That's the second ace in this series, and it's also another anti-eco ace. But what's impressive is that he did it at low HP. First initial kills from tiles into its mid, and he still went aggressive.
I love the bait as well.
Didn't back down.
Sending the dart, gets the distraction, says, okay, his back's gonna be turned. Pushes up, finds it, and now he's 17-7-0.
All in the span of one round. There's the Odin.
Ban looking to come away damageless there.
Not too much.
Primi it does end up getting caught by that wire. A little bit of damage going to be taken. Still continuing here on the approach, but boats the spam across is trying to dissuade the push out of market. Oh, Kadoom. Completely being outdone by the timing. CJRS trying to spam away, but Laz does come alive. Able to find two. Good boys Primi now going to be taken down. Governor dead as well. Ban, however, continues to fight back. The spike is stranded. Push out, and Laz, snappy with it, comes alive. Reestablishes a one-round lead here.
A site well anchored, and you have to think about how he's able to make that happen. They kind of lined up for it, but at the same time, he made sure not to overexpose himself towards a lot of these positions. walking away from these wallbang spots and just trying to play around the angles. You know, great little strafe peeks, and that's what earns him, nets him those 4 kills. 1 point away from the neural theft now. And it's MITH controlling the economy.
Right here.
Another recon, no surprises.
Early spams again to discourage Talon. Talon playing a little bit more slowly this time, but with the one-way towards A main, pushes out, continuing to peek.
Push out. Sephiroth getting maybe a bit overzealous, as is Kahlua. Challenging in, but completely getting shut down on those peaks. Out in front though is Kadum, finds one. Tailwind's across, back gen, Laz now reinforcing the position, arrives. Completely shuts down this push. Neural theft available should he want to invest it. He will. Tripwire will slow up over in mid. It's going to be the alarm bot into the clear. CGRS still on that side of the map, and you can see Ben down to 4 HP as the Odin just rings out.
He just does such a good job at buying time away from this round, or at least pushing, discouraging Talon from, again, challenging the B site. They're going to try to corral back towards it, though, but there it is!
I think they're going to have to end up just going for a save here.
30 seconds left.
You can see how split apart they are from one another. Ban going to go creeping forward, 4 HP. Almost no world in which he should be able to get that with the camera toggle timing. It ends up costing him.
15 seconds, might.
Kadum still here. He kills Primi. That should be the round over. He spotted him. Primi's able to dodge the shots. Damage not going to be taken. Tapping the spike. Trying to bait him forward. Challenges in, finds the kill. The spike now planted. A second to spare. And suddenly told down to CGRS's ban. Waits and finds him with recon in hand.
Never back down. 4 HP. And he's still able to find that off the camera timings. And down to it, what's more impressive is Primi. A single lone player, and he just runs all the way through tree, past the smokes. Tries to play off of the fake taps on the spike as well. Being able to catch his opponents off, just reading the timings of things, you know, reading their tendencies. Making them think that he's gonna stick down onto that spike, but it's not gonna happen.
8 to 8. Once again, in Thailand economy, not looking great. Sheriff's alongside this one Guardian here for Kahlua as he buys down the 900.
Meanwhile for Talon, recognizing that it's just not the greatest economy for the side of MITH, they're looking to deathball in towards A site. Ban lurking, but now just trying to buy the attention away from his teammates.
They double face in, they're able to find that kill, and that's gonna be a weapon recovered here. CGRS moves forward to grab it. Laz, though, fully flashed out, still finds the headshot. Primi gonna be taken down. He just goes backpedaling over the window. Flew out, up into heaven, finds Governor. And suddenly, things start very much getting away here from Talon.
Oh, you missed it.
Doesn't find the connection there. Still some decent advantages here. As, yeah, it's gonna be Kahlua mowing him down with a 4-piece to get the thrifty and regain the lead.
He's just on a Guardian. He's just on a Guardian, and he finds those shots and the kill.
Can I get this?
The double tap shield actually saves him enough away from Talon. And you know, even though he missed that kill contract, if he actually got it, that would have turned around into, you know, just like a 2-on-1 against the final player of Talon. So very well played, and you're seeing how effective this ISO can be on this map. You know, just by sheer challenging of duels. Oh, and there's that Odin again.
And there's Ban down to 41 health off the rip. DRS pretty easily going to be able to shrug off that one Sheriff shot that they took through the wall.
Just way too prickly. Talon just cannot challenge B main whatsoever unless they, you know, have some kind of set plan. But now smoking off A short, it's pretty much a clear play. Blades in hand as well for Primi. MITH trying to hold down their ground.
Slow approach Talon. Trying to assess, trying to figure out where the cracks are going to be, where can they get through. So they're going to turn their sights over here towards short. Push coming through. Paranoia not going to be in the ready, but it might not matter either. Governor's still able to find one, but Sephiroth will go ahead and swing through. Scoops up 2 kills.
No cracks found. I mean, if anything, they might be able to push in towards market, but CGRS is spamming away at that spot too.
Trying to push forward. It's the opposite side. Can't quite get the reset. Boys with that kill.
30 seconds
pick up the
left.
gun. And some knives. There's just 3 players on the side of Made in Thailand. 23 seconds remaining. Double push up. Their way into window, but they have to break it. Double face through. Slaz not far away. And Sephiroth here below, just in front of
left.
Jen.
Stay tucked away.
Man's coming out, finds a time, even no! Privy gets the right click. Takes him down, but he's got 30 HP versus 2, and the time is just not going to be there. Laz will peek, put him down, shows some mercy.
No more
It's going to be Made in Thailand now, getting up to 10. A 2-round lead. Cash there for the side of Talon, but they desperately are going to need to find value out of these ultimates.
So far hasn't been working out for them, but possibly with these ultimates, a way to crack in towards the B site. A problem that they've been yearning to solve for the longest time now. And Myth, though, in this round, I mean, just Sephiroth exercising that patience to stay tucked away, hidden up around the door. So here we go.
Talking about Premier scoreline before, 20 and 10 at the moment. Laz is right there with him. Right up on that front, but Sephiroth's going to be pressured out. He's going to take it down. Kadum able to find Ban. Push up, Governor now trying to hold the door, but they know that he's low on HP, so they just run and gun him, finishing off that final 10. Tree now coming through. They're going to look to cut their way across in towards A, but here's Laz. He is situated. He is primed and ready to go, and he is tearing them to shreds. Premier now last man standing, and all the while the spike has been stuck out over at B lobby.
3-way crossfire.
We saw him pull off that Aim Labs routine earlier there on split. He's gonna have to do something even crazier here. Goes forward with the shots. He's not really connecting with damage. Then Thailand can just play this out as patiently as they want. Give him an opportunity. Potentially separate, but he's gonna have to back off, go for the reload.
Shield.
The shield there on Kahlua. Making this so very nigh impossible for Primi to pull off. High-low setup. And yeah. Shows enough before the peak really comes through. That's going to be the cleanup is Hi, Frost.
It's going to be a timeout. I mean, it's just a near impossible, virtually impossible scenario to win. But what really stands out is just the way that they're able to push out like this. A play that, Talon weren't quite able to read or anticipate, just suddenly bursting out of B main. Because for the longest time, it has been just CGRS holding it down with the Odin from the other side of that wall. But now, catching Talon by surprise, and it puts them up to 11.
I can't wait for Fracture to be back in the pool.
Shadows traveling.
So, Myth one away from getting themselves up to match point. These ults still in the pockets of Talon, not wanting to commit them in the previous round. You can find use for them here and now.
Trying to sneak around the other sides. Bit of mid-presence exerted. One way is being put up towards A main again as well, and CGRS continues to spam away. Nothing found, and Talon just continues to try to hold, find some cracks, and how Myth might want to approach it. But without map control, it's going to be so tough for Talon to really push through unless they decide on a site. They're looking at the map right now, very well might be A, but they're going to have to spend quite a bit just to check and clear. I mean, look at the positioning inside of Wine from Kadum.
Right here.
And at the ready, the smoke dissipating. Still a tuck away. That's going to be the vulnerable. Now sent out. The clear, the swing. Kadum able to find 2. Shield now popped. Headshot comes across Kahlua. Picking up one as Kadum gets the other, and Sephiroth catches the lurk. 12-8. Made in Thailand now just 1 round away from sending Talon down to the lower bracket.
And you just see how that setup works so beautifully. The undercut, the DK being sent through from Killua. It just allows for Khadoom to spray all of them down. No need for headshots because they're taking extra damage off of that. Flawless round for them, and Talon are stuck. Last potential round, they don't have all that much to afford. Only a judge on the side of Primi, and the rest of the Guardians. One Vandal inside of Ban. And they still have those ultimates, but not in position to use them.
Full rotate over, might just be a classic lockdown into the cubby. Take the site from their play. Know that there's no Hunter Sphere on the opposite side. Sephiroth's going to be noted as the drone goes forward.
Ban lockdown?
Space is cleared. Ban right now not in position. He's watching for any kind of potential forward push up mid, but see, there's nothing happening there.
Took the orb. At least denied it. Now rotations all the way over. I guess you could lock down if you get the reload timing. Yes, Khadoom might be able to see all of this.
Send smoke, cutting it off. Reload going to be coming through now as TP. Sephiroth makes his way over into boat to try to join in with the rest of the squad, keep his teammate protected. They have to respect the lockdown, however. Sephiroth is trying to overstay a bit, sends out the paranoia on the back end, just trying to stop the push from coming through, but again, wait, what is happening?
TP, but without the spike time.
Okay, they drop it.
Okay,
they managed to make it happen for a second. It looked like it was going to be one of the biggest beefs that I've ever seen in my life, but instead, they will put the spike on the floor. The TP is there. Spike now planted. Killua pulling away from the window. Right as Primi manages to dash his way across through tree. Things have certainly gotten weird. Man backing off the doorway. The knives flying. He dodges them out and finds the headshot. Khadoom take it down, but Laz now picks up that kill, gets himself a corpse, sends out the neural depth, and all positions have been revealed. The tell-all story, the judge is breaking the shield, looking for a little bit more, trying to close the distance there onto Killua, but can't quite make it happen. He's just whittling away at him, but at the same time, he's losing out on members. He's getting surrounded, and now it is all down to Governor. Just a Guardian in hand and too many targets. 13-8 here on Ascent, made in Thailand, will strike down Talon and take the series.
Just how on earth does that happen? Quite the teamwork from this team, and you're also noticing a lot of sharp shooting from so many other players. Interesting setup with the Asia composition that they had, and this is one that you definitely want to study. The ISO being pulled into the roster, but just with the way that Talon unfortunately weren't quite able to throw in some of those timings, weren't quite able to crack those defenses with CGRS on the other side of that wall on B main. The Odins, the spams. And down to an even scoreline at the end of the first half, MITH were able to cement their lead down to the second.
Very excellently done here from the side of MITH. Now I do want to quell probably some of the angry Talon fans that are out there wondering, oh, why didn't Frost call a timeout? We're getting bodied. Why? He's limit testing. He's trying to see if the players are going to be able to make the adjustments themselves without coach intervention. Unfortunately, here on this map, in the series across the board, they weren't able to do so. But it's very solid credit here to MITH. He still put up some fantastic performances overall.
Yeah, definitely some lessons to be learned on the side of Talon for the very least, but other than that, it's also just MITH showing us how capable they can be, with or without the coaching. Down to the setups, they played this map so many times. They played it all throughout their Challengers League. Apart from the tiny little black mark on the side of Split, they did pretty darn well all throughout this entire series, and Laz coming out on top with 23 kills. Lots of incredible flicks and sharp shooting all throughout this entire map. But as we look at the stats as well,
and yet again, another one of those these maps rather, just getting that early advantage, but then that clutch factor really coming into play for the players on Made in Thailand. Whether it was CGRS, whether it was Laz who had a hell of a game, They were very much stepping up, but there we go. The first day is done and dusted. 2-0 for Sentinels over Gen G earlier on. That means they get to play against this Young Bunny squad from Thailand. Gen G versus Talon. We're gonna have to cannibalize each other in Pacific in a couple days' time. One of those teams is going to be going home. But we, of course, before we can send anybody home, have to see the teams over in Group B. NRG waiting, watching. They saw Sentinels win earlier today. They're going to be looking to add another America's team to that upper bracket. DRX as well, going to be looking to try to take down Billy Gaming. So plenty more action, and of course these matches are going to be taking place just tomorrow. Same place, same time.
Yeah, a little bit of lovely Asian representation as well. I mean, Vietnamese scene, of course. You also have BLG. But yeah, I mean, so far it's been quite the fun bit of action all throughout the both series. And I mean, can you imagine from MITH's side, like being able to come here with, you know, maybe not a lot of high expectations, but then you're able to play up against Sentinels up next?
Yeah, that's going to be an insane experience for those young players for sure. But that does it for myself and Quack here today. We'll be back tomorrow, but for now we have the interview.
Climax CGRS.
Hello.
아 정말 오랜만에 보는 것 같아요. 하지만 또 CGRS 선수 여기서 아이스박스 맵을 경험도 있고 또 익숙한 장소이기도 하고요. 오늘 관중 속에 알렉스 감독님도 함께 하시게 됐는데 돌아온 기분이 어떤지부터 물어보도록 하겠습니다. You know, it's been a while, but you played, I think, Icebox, right, on this stage.
Yeah, I remember that.
We even have Coach Alex right there as well. So what was it like being back, you know, performing on this stage?
Yeah, I'm so excited to play this in this stage like for a long time, like, but this time we come like full lineup. Yeah, I'm so excited to play. Yeah.
아 사실 이렇게 이 무대에 이 장소에 다시 돌아와서 너무 떨리기도 하지만 너무너무 기분이 좋고 그리고 정말 잘 준비해서 오늘 100% 올인할 마음가짐으로 모두 왔기 때문에 오늘 너무 기분이 좋다고 얘기를 하는데요. 근데 사실 메이드 인 타일랜드가 에서는 그동안 정말 압도적인 1왕의 모습을 보여줬지만 이번 대회가 팀에게는 첫 번째 국제대회 오프라인 경기이기 때문에 좀 탈론이 조금 더 유리하지 않을까 싶었는데 오늘의 2대1 승리 팀에게 어떤 의미인지도 물어보도록 할게요. You know, you guys have been dominating the Thai Valorant scene for the whole year, but this is your first international offline game for the team as well. So, you know, what does it mean to you to be able to pick up this win, especially against a Pacific team?
This means a lot to us. I mean, like, we work hard a lot. We talk about this like, a lot because we want to show everyone like want to know us. Like, we are MITH. Yeah.
사실 이번 승리가 굉장히 많은 의미를 가지고 있는 게 사실 메이드 인 타일랜드가 우리가 어떤 것을 할 수 있고 그리고 어떤 팀인지 세상에 보여주고 싶었기 때문에 오늘 이렇게 기분 좋은 승리를 가져가면서 좀 팀의 이름을 사람들에게 각인시킬 수 있어서 너무 좋다고 얘기를 하는데요. 그리고 오늘 경기를 돌아보면 정말 CGRS 선수 샷이 너무너무 좋아졌기 때문에 뭐 중계진에서는 도대체 무슨 일이 있었던 거냐라고 얘기를 했었는데 MIM 코치님과 제가 살짝 얘기를 나눠봤는데 원래 20대 때 아직 20대이긴 하지만 좀 더 젊었을 때 정말 태국 원탑 에임이었는데 좀 회춘한 것 같다. 그리고 좀 이렇게 기량을 계속해서 끌어올리기 위해서 아침 일찍 일어나서 굉장히 많은 노력을 보여준다라고 얘기를 했습니다. 또 개인적으로 어떤 노력을 하고 있는지 자세히 들어보고 싶네요. You were hitting shots sharp, on point. You know, everyone was like, what the heck happened to CGRX? And I got a chance to